Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's ruling Likud Party has scored a resounding victory in the country's election. Speaking at party headquarters in Tel Aviv in the early hours of Wednesday, he said that, quote, "Against all odds, we achieved a great victory for the Likud, a great victory for the nationalistic camp led by the Likud." With 99% of the ballots counted, Likud appears to have earned 29 out of Parliament's 120 seats. The Zionist Union Party wound up with just 24. Netanyahu will now have a relatively easy time putting together a coalition government with right-wing and religious allies. But he did acknowledge there are difficulties ahead, stating, quote, "We are facing great challenges. I cannot elaborate on all of them, but I can say in certainty that we stand in front of diplomatic and security challenges." Wednesday morning, and leader of the Zionist Union Party leaving his house in Tel Aviv. He said he'd spoken with Netanyahu to congratulate him and wish him luck, but went on to point out that, quote, "It must be clear that for the citizens of Israel, the challenges remain the same. The problems are the same. Nothing has changed." In Jerusalem, a mixed opinion from residents.
This is not a good morning. This is a disappointing morning. But this is a morning that I tell myself and I tell my friends and I tell my children, we have an obligation to not sink into the despair and into the disappointment, but try to do everything we can to bring change.
I'm delighted at the results. I hope there's a national unity government. And I think the results are very good for Israel.
In the West Bank city of Ramallah, residents like Mohammed Safi believe there's no difference between the Likud and Labour, that both parties will continue settlements and buildings and expansions, a sentiment shared by Hamas in Gaza. Spokesman Sami Abu Zuri said, "We don't differentiate between Israeli parties because they're bound to deny our people's rights and continue the aggression on us." The Hamas movement stresses that Palestinian resistance is strong and leaders of occupation, whoever they were, must re-evaluate their positions after their defeat in Gaza. Early Wednesday, and Netanyahu said he'd already been in touch with all other nationalist parties in the hopes of quickly forming a coalition.